Oh my gosh, I will not talk about that. Absolutely not.
Forget it. It's butt plugs and printed fists. That's all it is.
Exactly.
What are you going to do?
3D printing making me sterile. Dear Wendi.
I wasn't in the pool. Please explain this shrinkage. All right, here we go. Oh, I got to, in the notes, I just got to say we're going to test this. Taste, test, soup. Okay, that'll remind me. All right, here we go, everybody. We got it going here, and we're about to hit play in 3, 2, 1.
That's a common misconception, often based on the confusingly similar terminology used by some multi-level organizations or pyramid schemes. That means a separation between corporate management and the independent contractors who sell our Mary Kay products.
You've been raking my yard with a golf club? I want my quarterback.
The Morning Stream. Tear out bad wood, put in good wood.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for August 15th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi.
Hello. Oh my gosh, it's the end of a regular TMS week with not counting our bonus show tomorrow, but it just feels good to, I don't know, it was a short week because of your trip. It was like
brief.
It felt like a long week to me.
Yeah,
being here and working and
that's the funny thing about it. It feels like it was about a month's worth of time in about 2 days.
Really does, yeah.
I hate that feeling, but I will say this: a early happy birthday goes out to my brother Matt, the Korean weirdo that I'm related to. We don't know his actual birthday. I don't know if I've ever said this, but they don't have accurate records.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Could be.
You should have let him pick his own birthday. Like, do you want 420? Do you want Christmas? Do you want
We should have. That's a perk of being yanked out of your
birth country. Your first birthday present is pick your birthday.
Yeah. Welcome to America. You get to choose. We should have done it. I don't know why we didn't. I should ask my mom.
Throw a dart at a calendar if you want, and
I might ask my mom about that. I'm going to see her this weekend.
How they came up with it. That would be an interesting thing.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they had to just fake it. I don't think the orphanage offered any suggestions. I think they just said we don't know, and we had a pretty decent estimate based just how we looked at when we got him, but. They said, yeah, he's going to be older than you. I said, okay. But I'm not even sure he is. He might be 10 years younger than me for all I know, because Asians age differently, those weirdos.
Yes, they do.
This is not a racist statement. I'm jealous. All of you age slowly, and you look amazing. It's not fair.
KT Data is actually 75.
I know.
Did you know that?
He's been on an AARP guy for like 20 years already. It's hard for him to pee, but yet, look at him. He looks 16.
Yeah, but look at him. He's amazing. Looks absolutely fantastic.
Don't understand. Anyway, it's good to be here,
don't
everybody.
Don't you get me started on you, Rainbow Bright.
No, forget it. Listen, all you guys who look amazing until you die, I am not of that lineage. I come from the very white, very sun-averse, wrinkly-ass, mother-effer, whatever, Scandinavians. And that's as good as it's going to get for me.
I aged 10 years when I walked by a bright lamp.
Oh, I have to tell you a funny story after next week, and the thing I can't talk about.
Oh, okay.
That has to do with lighting and baldness. I'll tell you about it.
Really? Oh gosh. Okay. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's a pretty funny little side note, but it would give away the whole farm if I told what it was.
It would be NDA broken.
That's right. Do not talk about bald people. Anyway, we got some stuff from listeners, and we're also going to do a little food test today. We got just fun stuff just racked up here like a
gosh. It's a packed show.
It is a packed show. Let's start with this one from Ben, who wrote in about bear, because I was talking about how the bear bee killer stuff that Pacholik sent was magical to me, but I couldn't get my head around the idea. Well, this is like the bear
made by
aspirin.
the aspirin company. Yeah.
Yeah. Like how it looks like white ground up aspirin. So who's in charge of making sure you don't F that up? Make sure you don't mix the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freaks me out. But anyway, says Bayer is one of the largest multinational medical and crop science corporations in the world. If anyone's going to make zombies, it is probably Bayer. He says you cannot fight the corpos if you don't know the corpos. LST or love the show though, Ben.
Yeah, it's very short. It's a very short love the show though. If you just it's love show though.
Oh yeah, love show though.
Out of the,
yeah,
it's
I
love
guess
show though.
That makes it a pure initialism, not an acronym, unfortunately. Or I guess you could say list, right? And that makes it an acronym. Isn't that the deal? You have to be able to say it to be an acronym.
It's an initialism. If it's an acronym, if you can pronounce it, it's an initialism if you can't.
Okay, I think we can maybe get away with that one. Shane wrote in also, and Shane, this is not Shane who rotates slowly. I don't think.
No, it's a different Shane. Because this guy is the first-time writer, so...
Oh, right, because he's written in plenty of times.
Yeah.
Good point. He says, hello, Scratch and Burn, 12-year listener, sorry. Jeez. He's been listening for 12 years. First-time writer. Just listened to the show from Thursday, August 1st, and you mentioned Louisiana wanting to charge people who have solar power. I live in Tennessee, and beginning this past January 1st, if you own a hybrid vehicle, you have to pay an additional $100 or $200 for full electric to renew your tags every year. Reasoning for this was to make up for lost gas taxes. Anyhow, love the show, Shane. This is how they get you, man. The whole point of electrics, well, not the whole point, but big point of electrics was to get off of fossil fuel.
Exactly.
And go a different direction. The idea wasn't to figure out a way to subsidize all that shit into eternity. What are you doing?
No, it's, oh my God. It's like when they came up with convenience fees, right? Like when you buy tickets online for something. Oh, here's a $4 convenience fee. Why? Because I kept you from having to hire somebody to answer my phone call to buy this ticket?
Yeah.
This is why I need to pay a fee for convenience?
Perfectly.
I need to pay for my convenience?
No, that's a perfectly cromulent comparison. That's exactly right. It's like resort fees. Yeah. It's like any of these stupid little things people insert in there because we're just that greedy. I promise you, Tennessee makes plenty of tax dollars without the freaking... This is some pressure from somebody who... What's the word when you go to Washington and you're a company and you walk down the halls and you talk to senators.
Oh, like you're not super PAC, like you're
lobbyist.
Lobbying.
Lobbyists. Jeez.
Yes.
Why was that word hard?
Yeah, because you're in the lobby.
Damn. Yeah, because that's the idea, right? Is they're moving and shaking in the lobby and doing elevator pitches to Mitch McConnell, going, we can't have this fracking, Mitch, and he goes. Anyway, so there's that. Hey, Brian, look what we got here.
Yes, sir.
Look what we have here, everybody. Let's see. Do I have a food thing? I think I do.
I had some bad...
No, that's not it. I don't want that
What's
one.
a foodie? Don't you still have What's a Foodie somewhere?
Almost washed your food down.
All right, that's a good one. We were given these by KT Data, right?
KT Data, yeah.
He brought mine to me at the movie. He sent yours in the mail. These are cup noodles, campfire s'mores.
Yes.
It says
Were
with
you
nat.
surprised? Oh, yes. Kim opened it up for you, right?
She did. She poured. I did see it when it was dry though, and it had.
Okay, the little miniature marshmallows on top.
Yeah, that concerns me because that's weird and strange to put in ramen, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, but the hot water is going to turn those into sugar anyway. It's like going to break them down. They're not. You don't still see them in there.
No, they're melted down.
Oh my gosh! I let this sit for too long. It is congealed already, and this is like I kept a thing on top of it to keep it hot.
You think you have?
I'm moving it around a little bit now.
Do you think the marshmallow makes the noodles behave like get fatter, or like something like that? No,
but it probably sticks them together like sticky rice.
Oh, good point. Yeah. So this is supposed to be like s'mores. It says artificial and natural flavors. S'mores, as far as I know, just for the record, are like, graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate, and you put it over a fire and roast them or whatever. How that translates to like this, I don't know.
Why somebody said, this would be great as ramen.
Yeah, yeah. Who? I mean, I realize they're kind of into that now because we did the waffles one. And
the waffles. What was the other one? There was another one that was, no, it was waffles. I can't remember.
Some other third one, right? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
and I remember it being just very odd to even eat, and I don't think I could finish. I think I may have finished the waffle one, but I couldn't finish
generic
the other one.
breakfast ramen. That's right. It had like bits of egg and stuff. That's right.
So the smell of this,
it smells great.
Yeah, it's not even that sweet of a smell. It kind of almost is like, I don't know how to compare it. Mm-hmm. So here we go. I guess I'm scared. Whoa, it's a little sweet. I mean,
But not as sweet as I was expecting.
yeah, maybe not that. Maybe not as bad as you might think. You know what?
Yeah.
This is all right.
Yeah, like a dessert ramen.
400 calories.
I know. Boom.
Wow. How much sugar?
It's like eating 5 eggs or something.
Oh, there's only 9 grams of sugar total. It's really not too bad. Oh, added sugar 17%. Wait. Oh no. I can't tell what that means.
Not
all right.
bad, though.
You know what?
You know-
That isn't that bad. That's all right. I think I like that better than the waffle one because the waffle one felt like I was just smelling sleepover onesies. You know, like
Yeah.
Stinky Kid Waffle Pants.
Oh crap! Drop my chopsticks.
Yep. Well, you were very authentic. I did a fork.
Yeah, no, chopsticks, but something weird down here. Hold on a sec.
Uh-oh. This is a mystery.
Like a egg or something. Like a.
Oh, I want it to be weird. This needs to be a live moment of like amazing discovery on Brian's floor. He's looking at the floor, people listening at home on audio. Oh, look at that! Oh, no! Oh, shit!
no!
Oh, shit!
I guess I can't talk.
I don't know. Where'd you get that? Did you print
I
it?
had this for a while.
Oh.
No, gosh, no. This is a plushy face hugger, and I I wore this part as part of a Halloween costume one year.
Yeah.
By the way, I just found out that it does not fit over headphones.
Oh.
This elastic band that I safety pinned to a couple of the legs so that I could wear it on my head
Yeah.
does not fit with a big pair of chunky headphones.
That's
on,
good
but,
news, though, right? Because that means if they ever come, you just wear headphones on your set.
I'll just put headphones on.
Yeah.
You can't get me, face hugger.
Yeah, well
you
done.
can't reach.
I love it. That's cool. I didn't know you had that. Are you going to wear that or take that with you for the movie?
Trying to figure out. I could put it around my neck like this,
Yeah.
but watching a movie like this is,
Yeah, you can't do that.
and it's Alamo Drafthouse, and I can't eat or drink with this thing on my face.
Yeah, that's great, dude. I want one. Is it plush?
And now it is plush, yeah, super soft, and the legs have wires in them, so you can bend them to fit around something.
Is there any kind of organ hole or anything on the bottom there, like in the? Oh wow, that's almost worse. That's almost
really?
Yeah, because that's just so like laid open. Ugh, I don't like it.
Well, this is what Kane saw. This is what
Yeah, poor John
William
Hurt.
John Hurt, yeah.
Everyone thinks John Hurt died of old age, but we know the
He
truth.
he died of an organ hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be funny. A great COVID mask. Spectator, this is awesome. Like, do you mind if I mask up for the movie? No problem.
It's not quite N95 compliant, but it'll do in a pinch.
Right. Tina said I should just bring it and hug it like I'm scared. Like a little
Oh,
plush
that's
animal
cute.
kind of
like a
thing.
little kid walking
Yeah.
around.
Totally.
That'd be cute.
The tail thing does not have wire in it. It would be great if you could make this wrap around, but it already has like a built-in kind of hook to it, so you can you basically just put it around your neck. I had a cap with a Nostromo patch on the front, and then a leather jacket, and I was Kane for Halloween one year.
Oh, nice. Look at you. That's a perfect thing to do. Real quick, we do have some early reviews in, 131 reviews for the film, and
Okay.
for Romulus,
Oh, gosh.
currently sitting, no user reviews yet because it's not out, but
Sure.
professional reviews, we are at 83%. That is
Okay.
pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, I was worried. I was like, oh gosh, do I even want to know? Do I want to know, Scott, how it's
Yeah.
doing? But I'm glad I know.
It
Yeah,
says,
good.
so a lot of the stuff I'm reading, like here's a review. Alien Romulus feels like it was re-engineered from a lab of all the parts of the previous films, but it is a relentless thrill machine. That's all I want.
Ooh, I like a relentless thrill machine.
Me too.
It's my favorite kind of machine.
Space horror at its finest. It is back to
Space
basics movie. Space horror.
Horror. Space horror.
So finally somebody made a movie that comes close to the brilliance of the original. Oh, I'm
Good.
so excited.
Oh, like it a lot.
Well, anyway, that's this weekend. When are you going? When are you, Thursday or
No, tonight.
tonight? Holy shit.
Tonight.
Oh, today is
Yeah.
Thursday. So you are seeing it on Thursday today.
Yeah, it is Thursday. Yeah, how about that? It is Thursday. What do you know?
See, this is what this week did to me.
So-
It's all effed up. I don't know what
Yeah.
day it is. Well, that's great, dude. I'll be doing core while you're watching a movie, and then I'll go see it. I think we're going Saturday morning or something.
Nice. Obviously, I will be completely and totally spoiler free when I'm talking to you guys tomorrow during the thing.
Unlike me, Brian does not accidentally spill the beans.
That's right. Okay, no, this isn't a spoiler, but there's a facehugger in this movie.
Yes, but I am very good at NDAs. If anyone's listening in particular, I'm very good at those.
Okay.
For the most part, I'm good at NDAs. Anyway, let's move on to some news. We got some stuff to discuss about. Things happen overnight.
Desperately trying to find a photo of my facehugger costume from when I wore it for Halloween. I might find it during the show at some point. But,
how many years ago was it? Was it a while ago?
It was a while ago. It was God. That's the thing. If I can remember the year, it'd probably be easier to find. I want to say it was 2016, 2017, maybe.
So in your mind at the time, were you a particular character in Alien lore, or were you just you?
I was totally Ash.
Ash, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, not Ash. Ash is the cyborg.
Oh, Ash is the cyborg,
Kane.
right? Kane.
I was Kane, yeah.
Not Bilbo.
Here we go. Hold on a second. This is where, here's how I had to find it, or how I'm hoping to find it. I still haven't found it. I'm going into my photos and doing it by location and seeing if that works.
I just thought of a fun trivia game I want to do with you.
Ooh,
is this how it works with you? You just suddenly get an idea and then you think of the trivia around the thing and maybe make a game out of it?
Sometimes, yeah. Like
I'm
how to
gonna
make
write
a
this
game
down.
out of it? Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Trivia idea for Brian, actor. Okay.
You're not going to tell me what it is? You're going to surprise me?
All right, so I'll tell you what it is. But I'll construct it and we'll actually do it next week or something. But here's my idea. It's not that revolutionary or anything, but the idea is that, you know how I do this naturally, where you'll say, "Hey, have you seen this?" And I'll go, "Oh, that's got Loki and even though the movie's got," and then I'll think of characters from other movies instead of the actors.
It's that movie where Thanos and Scarlet Witch get it on before Nick Fury tries to kill him.
100% that. I love that.
Yes.
And
in that movie, by
it's
the way.
fun to do. Also, it's a great way to cover for the fact that I can't remember names. And so I'm thinking maybe it'd be a fun trivia to say, all right, name the movie. And then I go.
And you describe it like that.
Like you just did. And then you have to go, oh, yeah, right. And then, that could be fun. Do like 10 of those. I could do that.
Totally. No, I think it's a great idea. Why do I think I was going to... Did I do it? Did I end up doing it, or did I just talk about doing it? I was going to do it for one of our Frog Pants All-Stars games, where it was going to be, and it was even illustrated out. So like you said, oh, here's the movie where Batman meets up with Wolverine and they, do magic together or something like that.
Yeah.
And it had a little Batman Wolverine, like back in the Flash or something.
Can't remember if you did that, did you?
I know I talked about it. Did I actually end up doing it is the question.
I know we talked about it here, but I can't remember if you did it. If you didn't, that's still a great idea, and you should do it. But I don't remember if you did it. Someone in the chat.
That'd be fun.
Someone in the chat will remember. Somebody was there.
For sure.
Well, anyway, we're going to get to the news now. Everybody sit still, relax, enjoy this. It's, in a year full of news, we're bringing it to you hard and fast. All right, here we go. It's time for the news, and it's brought to you by
Coverville today at noon, I hope. I think we'll talk about that. But noon today, twitch.tv/Coverville, the music of Phoebe Bridgers, because I realized when I saw that it was her 30th birthday coming up, I realized that sometimes I get Phoebe Bridgers, Brandy Carlisle, and Casey, not Musgraves, she's the country one, Casey Chambers confused.
Okay.
And this was a way for me to say, all right, let's totally familiarize myself with Phoebe Bridgers' music so that I can at least be able to identify Phoebe Bridgers if I need to.
Gotcha. For a minute there, I couldn't remember. Now I know. She's awesome. She's like my
awesome.
Daughter's age. I always thought she was a lot younger than that, but anyway.
Yeah, and I know her covers back and forth. Like she does a great cover of Metallica's "Nothing Else Matters," and of course you'll hear that on the show today. Mm-hmm. But the only original of hers that I thought I was familiar with was "Emotion Sickness," I think it's called, which is a relatively newer hit that I clicked like on, and it kept including it in my playlists and like automatically adding it to shuffle and stuff, which was great. I'm not complaining.
Sure.
But I wanted to know more. I wanted to listen to more. So I listened every time I found a cover. I listened to the original version to see how much they changed it up, and decided that all right, I'm a Phoebe Bridgers fan, and hopefully you will be too after you listen to today's episode at twitch.tv/Coverville at noon, 12 p.m. I'll be playing with a deck, a Marvel Boy deck, not a Marvel Boy deck, a Wiccan deck.
Oh, so Agatha all the time and all that. So she's in there.
No, Wiccan is the son of.
Oh, it's a character. I've never heard of
It's
Wiccan.
a character. Scarlet Witch and Vision? Yeah.
Wiccan.
Yeah. We even
Marvel.
briefly saw Wiccan in the WandaVision. One of her kids dressed up as kind of as Wiccan.
Oh, it was like a reference to it or something?
As a reference to the character.
So wait a minute. That makes that person half android or what? How's that work?
I don't know. I don't know how that all works. Yeah.
It's magic, there's
It's
magic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
By the way, in our Discord chat, you'll see the photo of me as Kane from Alien.
Perfect. Look at this, you guys. You got to see this. Yeah, this is good. I like it because you almost look like. Wait, who's the other actor? He was in Paris, Texas. He's in stuff we just saw him in Repo Man.
Yeah, Harry Dean Stanton.
That's who that makes me think of because of the hat. I think. Mm-hmm. The kind of trucker hat.
Yeah, totally is because Brett. He was Brett in the movie. Brett totally wore the trucker hat. I think he was the only one on the ship who actually wore a hat on the Nostromo. By the way, that same year, and you can show this one too, Tristan was the Scarecrow character from the first Christopher Nolan Batman movie. I made those little syringes with Siloom light sticks inside to make it look like
oh yeah.
I guess it was more the Scarecrow from the Arkham Asylum video game.
Oh, I don't remember what he looked like. I guess he did. Yeah, I knew there was fingers like this, but I couldn't remember where. So hold on. Did you put glow? You put like glow sticks in there, or what?
Inside, we bought some syringes and then put some glow sticks in there, and then because in the game, he's all huge, towering over Batman and in Arkham Asylum in dream sequences or hallucinations, and then he like has the needles and just
okay, that's awesome, dude.
Jams them into Batman. Yeah,
freaking love that. Did he do a hood or anything, or just
yeah, he had a hood. We didn't bring it to that party, but we used that same burlap and made a really cool hood.
That's great. Some early very Cillian Murphy.
Tristan right there.
Yeah, young Tristan, young Cillian Murphy, or Cillian.
Right. Cillian. 15 years ago, looks like. That was 2009 that I was Kane for Halloween.
Yeah, that looks about right for his age. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, here's a weird site. This is the kind of thing you don't see every day. 25 Great Danes, the dogs, the big old freaking horse dogs, are seen running loose after a California woman was killed in a dog attack. So now these things are roaming everywhere. Exactly.
Like a pack of Great Danes.
I can't think of anything quite so scary. Like at night, if you saw an alleyway and 25 of these dogs just running down there looking all rabid and hell-bent.
They're usually not... you think of Marmaduke. You think of, Scooby-Doo, Leslie Hayes.
They're very sweet animals. They're not.
Yes, you don't think of them as being like pack animals. And
yeah, very odd thing to witness. But anyway.
So Great Danes.
Yeah, they found this lady. She had died on a Northern California trail and was killed in what they're calling a domestic dog attack. They say a pack of 25 Great Danes were seen running loose in the area at the time. So I don't know if they've even connected the two, but it seems like that might be it. Yeah. The body of Davina Corbin, age 56, of Feather Hills, was found by a resident shortly after 2 a.m. on a trail called Black Hawk in a remote area of Butte County. Deputies and detectives spent the entire day capturing the dogs who were running loose in the area, says the Butte County Sheriff's Office. An autopsy found numerous dog bites on Corbin, and subsequent DNA tests confirmed she was the victim of a domestic dog attack. Sheriff's Department says it believes Corbin was walking on the trail when she was attacked. DNA analysis of Corbin's clothing is seeking to determine which dog or dogs bit her. They don't know that yet. None of these animals have been euthanized. They're currently being held. So, I don't.
So, yeah, a guy resident who's got 25 Great Danes.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds, unless he's a breeder, which hopefully he's a breeder, but otherwise it sounds fairly like, is he using these dogs for dog fights or
especially if they're aggressive like that? That makes me wonder.
Yeah,
because they are not an aggressive breed unless you make them that
geez.
way.
Yeah, hopefully he's a breeder, but still, I mean, that's
well, it says here,
which dog was it? That's crazy.
According to a neighbor on the trail, that pack of Great Danes has been a problem for years. He said in a quote, they came across the road here to me or at me, so I jumped in the car and left. He said that he and other neighbors called the Butte County Animal Control multiple times to complain about the dogs, including the day before the deadly attack. Nothing has been done about it until now, he says. That's a tragedy that shouldn't happen. Well, I agree. But the guy might be, I don't know why this is so hard to find. There must be somewhere where they're all coming from. It's either a rescue, a breeder, or a problem, and it shouldn't be hard for them to get to the bottom of it. So
no, they said they found, didn't they say, obtained a warrant for a nearby residence where they found the dogs. So they know where the dogs are. They just got to do the cheek swabs, I guess. Like, really, it's one bad dog and 24 members of his entourage.
Yeah, a whole lot of
accomplices.
A whole lot of it wasn't me faces happening in that pack.
Raiding and rebetting.
I always forget that Scooby was a Great Dane.
A Great Dane.
Yeah. I don't know why. Scooby's just Scooby-Doo to me,
Scooby's just a big brown dog. I know. Yeah. You don't think of him being like a relative of Marmaduke. You think of Marmaduke and you think, oh, Great Dane, but Scooby, for whatever reason.
My only experience with a Great Dane, a couple times, just that they're really sweet and they don't have anything to compensate for because they're gigantic, so they're just nice and put their head. They'll sleep on you. Happy dogs.
Occasional hip problems like most large dogs have.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned this is. Let me tell you what I've learned from our 3-dog night over here at the house.
What's that?
We have, Ripley, great big.
Black is black, the earth is white, the colors of him is hail the night. I wish I knew the lyrics to that song.
That song, for whatever reason, I don't know them either, but it really brings me back to a very specific part of my childhood.
Yeah, like
wood paneling childhood.
For sure.
Yeah.
Whenever it was that song was popular and on the radio, it just, for whatever reason, the sing-songy nature of it felt like like it was targeted to kids. And I think they even have kids doing the chorus at one point.
Yeah, there's something about it that felt like it was
Elmont Tench. No, what's the name of the guy from 3-Dog? I'll never remember it.
It was like a Sesame Street bit. It felt like
it was. Dee 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 dee. One of these things is not like the other. Dee 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 dee.
Telephone ring.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Oh, there's a bunch of people who were born in the 80s who have no idea what the hell we're talking about.
I assume, yeah. I mean, you guys all had Elmo. There's a bunch of you that had Elmo only, and I feel bad for you.
Elmo was the Poochie of Sesame Street. He was added. He was the cousin Oliver of Sesame Street. Wasn't added at all until like the 90s or something. Late 80s. When was
late 80s? I think. Yeah. My comparison for him is always he's the Guy Fieri of PBS, because before Guy Fieri, Food Network was Food Network and had a very even spread,
wide variety of stuff on it.
Yeah, and now it's all repeats of things he's in, because for whatever reason he's bankable. And I think Elmo was the same for Sesame Street. It was like, oh, well, the kids love Elmo, so let's just focus on Elmo. And I think that's a bummer, because you and I grew up with weird animation and strange puppetry and funky uses of every aspect of it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
8,
9,
9, 10, 11, 12. And that
Pointer.
typewriter guy that would come out and go, and he'd see a ball and go, ball. Ball, and then the ball would try to kill him or something. It was great.
Totally squeaky wheels as he'd wheel out into center frame.
Loved that guy. Like, how many of you even know Grover exists? How many of you have seen Grover try to take an order from that bald guy who's pissed at the restaurant? Probably not many. I mean, people of a certain age will know, but you guys don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that. Watch for 25 roaming dogs. It's the worst theme gang of all time. How about this one?
Elmo says, "How is everybody doing today?" Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
A New Zealand food bank is unknowingly, or was unknowingly, they know now, distributing meth as candy. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not good. A charity working for the homeless people of Auckland, New Zealand, unknowingly distributed candies filled with a potentially lethal dose of methamphetamine in its food parcels after the sweets were donated by a member of the public. So somebody out there donating meth candy.
Jeez, yeah, no kidding.
Pretty gnarly. Auckland City Mission, on Wednesday said that it had the staff had started to contact up to 400 people to track down the parcels that contained the tainted sweets, which were then sold. Which were solid blocks of methamphetamine enclosed in candy wrappers. It wasn't even like,
oh my god,
it wasn't even like a laced Starburst.
It wasn't a right. It was exactly a Starburst that was dusted with meth. It was like a. Like it was a meth toast, basically.
A meth toast. There you go. The fresh hospital maker. Anyway,
right.
3 people were treated at a hospital. Speaking of which, after consuming them, they were later discharged. I'm sure they just were like, "What the hell's wrong with me?" After eating that candy. The amount of meth in each candy was up to 300 times the level someone should take, or you would usually take. Shouldn't take it at all, but anyway.
No.
Could be lethal, according to the New Zealand Drug Foundation, or the NZDF.
Wow.
That's cooler than. What's our FDA?
DEA.
What's our food one? FDA?
Oh, FDA. Yeah, Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah, I like New Zealand.
That's true, because that's right.
Foundation.
It is that. It's not the Drug Enforcement Agency. It's the food. Right.
Yeah.
Is the equivalent to the Food and Drug.
Except we learned here. What did we learn? That they have their own. They basically have their own little military spy agency connected to it, right? Who was that?
Yeah.
That somebody wrote in.
Somebody wrote in and explained that to us. Yeah.
That feels like months ago.
Oh, we should talk. I know we don't have in the show notes. We should talk about the celery.
Oh yeah.
That Amy sent in. Speaking of math.
Yeah, I have that story right here. Let's just actually bring it up. Where is it? It's right here. I saved it.
By the way, speaking of math,
check it out. Let's get more drugs going on. I put it. I scheduled it. Hold on.
You did. I'm sorry.
No. It's totally fine. I think it's fine to bring it up now. Let's do it. This is from the AtlantaNewsFirst.com. 1 ton of meth, more meth, hidden inside a truck bed of celery, seized from Metro Atlanta Farmers Market. So, people out going, oh, let's buy some of this homemade salsa, and I'm going to buy a smoothie or whatever.
Oh, I think I'll get some celery over here.
Yeah, turns out it was full of meth. And this picture, I got to show this to everybody. That is a lot of meth. Look at that pile.
That is a lot of meth.
Good hell.
So they just basically had that in a truck covered with a layer of celery.
Yeah. It says piles and piles of methamphetamine trafficked across the Mexican border were seized at the Metro Atlanta area after officials with the DEA, got notified. It's the largest amount of meth ever seized by the DEA's Atlanta division. Robert Murphy, special agent in charge of the division, said in a press conference. He also said the 3rd largest seizure of meth in DEA history for the year, anyway. Yeah. That's a lot. And let's see. They declined to specify the street value of the drugs. I would like to know that.
Well, good Lord, a ton? Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, what does that translate to, you think? Meth's cheap.
Probably a few $1 million worth of meth. I don't know what meth sells for.
I think meth's cheap on the street front, but but this much, it's going to add up to probably, like you say, millions, if I had to guess. Let's see. Oh, they found a guy. Let's see. Suspect identified as a Mexican citizen, Jesus Martinez, or they would say Jesus.
Probably Jesus, yeah.
It's just fun to say. Jesus.
They would say. I know. Jesus Martinez.
Jesus Martinez.
Jesus H. Martinez.
And then he got all tough on Mike, and this guy says, our goal is to take down the whole cartel. They're responsible for this. Well, it's the war on drugs, baby.
That is, yep.
Well, anyway, New Zealand, don't feel bad. It's going on everywhere, I guess. Oh, yeah. So the New Zealand deal, the street value is NZ dollars or New Zealand dollars, about 1,000, which is $608 here. So $608 per candy.
Per candy. Wow.
Yeah.
They're really dumb criminals, right? Like, we're just going to donate these. Didn't they donate it to a...
Yeah, it was like a food bank thing. They just don't, and they can't find who did, but they just gave it away, essentially.
Jeez.
Which goes against my theory. I have this every year, a bunch of people freak out and say, don't go out trick-or-treating, there's a rumor that there's fentanyl and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I always go, people don't want to give away their fentanyl. Number one, give it away because they paid for it. Number two, they want those drugs. If they're addicted to fentanyl, they're not giving away fentanyl. And thirdly, that would have a legal paper trail or a breadcrumb back to them. So I always just balk at that and go, nobody does that. But then I see a story like this and go, well, somebody donated a shit ton
somebody's doing it. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't understand the human brain. All right, here's a Chicago woman in the news.
Chicago woman.
What's her power? What does she do?
Able to divide 25 by 624. Wow. Excelsior.
That was a deeper cut than I expected.
It feels like that's another song that would have aired right after Black and White by Three Dog Night.
Yeah, right around the time when Sesame Street was good. That's about when it was happening.
That's right, exactly. That's back when Sesame Street was good.
Yeah.
Before they were just phoning it in.
Yeah, we liked it when Jim Henson was still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
After Mr. Hooper died,
Oh, yeah, when Hooper died. Remember how devastating that was?
Yeah.
None of us were okay.
No, it was because it was like we knew it was real. We knew that it was, the Mr. Hooper the actor really passed away.
Yeah, it wasn't like they did a fake funeral for a Muppet or something. It was a guy. Right. It was a real dude.
Yeah.
And they're none of them around anymore. Maurice died. Didn't David just recently die?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember the lady.
David was the tall black guy with the mustache, right?
He wasn't David. He was. David was the little kind of sheepish looking white guy.
Okay.
Ah, shit. Maurice was the Puerto Rican guy.
Gordon was right.
Gordon.
Yeah. Oh, and Maria. Yeah, no, Maria. We just saw her in oh no, not Maria. Who's the woman we just saw in West Side Story, the remake of West Side Story? Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno. Yeah.
She was
on Sesame Street
on
once or twice. But,
she was on. Yep.
So I don't know who's still around, but all I know is and then Spinny died, who was Big Bird.
Yeah, Big Bird. Yeah, Carol.
Of course,
Spinny.
Jim Henson. Man, I'm telling you,
Amy, don't worry, we're not hating on Sesame Street.
Not even close.
We're joking about how it's just it really jumped the shark when Snuffleupagus was able to be seen by more people.
Yeah. I mean, these are the things when we were kids, this is what we would think this way because this is what they gave us. This is what we had.
By the way, somebody in the chat room corrected me. Rita Moreno was on Electric Company, wasn't she? But I'd like you to notice who corrected me that Rita Moreno was on the Electric Company.
Who was it?
It's a guy with the screen name Easy Reader.
That's not fair. He clearly came in with some guns.
Clearly. Is that Morgan Freeman? Is that Morgan Freeman right there?
Yeah, no kidding. I used to love that stuff. And they do the two heads next to each other and go, chicken.
It was all compound words or whatever.
Yeah, whatever that was. I love that.
Yeah. Easy Reader, did you get your name from your screen name? Did you get it from Electric Company? I'm curious, or was it from
funny.
something else and it just happened to be the perfect storm today of
Dr. Calhoun, get busy reading or get busy dying. Yeah, that's awesome.
Get busy reading.
He says it. So Easy Reader confirms. Completely. Wow,
that was the last time I saw the Silent Spider-Man.
Who shot ropes out of his hand somehow?
That's right.
Full-size ropes. All right. Let's.
Okay, sorry. Yeah,
anyway, back to Chicago woman.
But we digress.
We sure did. She says, here's the deal. She got a 9-year sentence. A lot of legal stuff today. 9-year sentence for stealing $1.5 million in chicken wings.
That's a lot of wings.
That's a lot of wings, and it's also quite the sentence for all the chicken wings. I guess that's well into the felony out of larceny.
Yeah, that crosses for sure. I wonder what 100,000 or something. I can't remember what the line that you cross is.
Oh, 1.5. Oh, I think it's like. Yeah, is it like 1,000 or 600, 900, something like that?
100,000 or something. Yeah.
Oh, is it even? Maybe it's more than I thought. I don't even know.
Maybe it's less than that. Okay.
So if I stole 1,000, let's say I stole a $2,000 scooter. Mm-hmm. I think that puts me in.
Thinking about doing that?
Yeah, I have been. Mm-hmm. There's a guy up the road. He looks he looks like a guy that could.
He looks like he could be pushed off his scooter really easily. Yeah. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I've been scouting out the
Are we
area.
talking about like those little Zip scooters, or are you talking about a rascal?
Like a more rascal than Zip, but more like a,
Oh, okay.
more like a. He rides this thing that looks like a cross between. It may have actually 3 wheels, like a rascal, or like more like a
Does it have a seat, or do you stand on it?
seat. He sits,
Okay.
but it's fast and he can go on roads in it.
Oh.
But it's small like a scooter. I can't explain how this thing is weird. He also seems to stop and talk to this dude that's in one of those layback bikes where you're laying on the ground.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
God, I don't know. I don't know. I see so many people riding on those in the MS 150. I don't know. I mean, I've never tried one, so I don't know if it's easier, but I can't imagine going up big hills recumbent style and if that is better or worse.
It seems like almost impossible the way I think of it.
Does.
But it must work. It must be okay the way they do it.
Yeah.
I've never been on one. I don't know what they're like. Seems awkward to me. I'd try it though. Someone had a recumbent bike, let me know. Here in the valley, I'll try it. And then I'll steal it from you and I'll talk about it on the show.
Perfect.
Well, anyway, the school district official in Chicago, she used to be a school district official. Good Lord. Really likes that chicken. Given a 9-year sentence after pleading guilty to stealing a staggering $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. That is a lot of chicken wings.
Wow.
I wonder how much, if you could do a chart comparison between that and the meth that is in that candy.
Right. What is the current conversion rate from meth to chicken wings?
Yep. I would like to know. Vera Lindell, apparently not the heir to the pillow fortune.
Pillow guy.
Yeah.
Mike Lindell here. We're trying to sell $1.5 million in chicken wings stuffed in my pillows.
The word is he's got so much like warehouse debt right now that they're done soon. Yeah. Can't keep acting like that and sell a lot of pillows. Anyway, food service director at Harvey School District 152 near Chicago stole the huge amount of fast food during the pandemic and its aftermath. All these people with their little sticky finger pandemic moves. Remember this? This was a thing.
Yes,
toilet paper
totally.
and all that shit. Everybody was trying to make a little buck on the side.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
So this was her plan, to steal all the, wow, and then like dole it out for high prices.
Yeah. And
right. Wings were skyrocketing in price during the pandemic.
I think all chicken products were for a while.
Yeah,
right?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Chicken stuff, eggs had a moment. Well, there was another basic, it was rice or something like that also had a run.
Right. Flour was impossible to get at the store because everybody was freaking making sourdough.
A little love toward Free Rangers, who says she didn't have a plan for this theft. She was just winging it.
Jeez.
Nice one, dude. But now she's chicken or going to jail. She's chicken, see?
Chicken. You're afraid. You're scared, you see.
It says when the wings were meant for children doing remote learning, but we're still getting school meals. In total, Lindell, she's 68, ordered more than 11,000 cases of wings from the school district's food provider and then picked up the order herself and never delivered. They are calling it a massive fraud. This happened between July 2020 and February of 2022. The theft was uncovered during a routine audit when it was found that the annual food service cost was $300,000 over budget only halfway through the year. Duh.
No kidding. Oh my gosh. So hopefully the kids didn't have to like subsist on bread and Capri Sun or something.
I know. What a lame thing to do to kids, man. Makes me mad.
Kidding.
Yeah. You know what? Go to jail. That's fine. She'll be 77 when you get out. So
Good for her.
Have fun in there.
Chicago woman.
I know, right? All right. I think. Well, I got time for this one.
Okay.
Wendy's never on time, so we're good. I'm gonna try to see if she remembers something about Sesame Street. So in case I forget, poke me. Because her and I had a thing about Sesame Street that we always did together that I hope she remembers because I think I'm vague about it. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. A YouTuber shoots video making peacock curry and then got arrested.
Boom, boom, boom.
Coming
in NBC this fall.
Yep. Must eat TV.
That's right.
There's major backlash. Also got arrested. So it's a university from Teleganas Cirilla. This is a place.
Telangina.
Surcilla? Anyway. Video of this dude preparing and consuming peacock curry went viral on the internet. The video faced massive backlash on social media. People accusing the YouTuber Kodam Pranay Kumar, none of this is right, of promoting illegal wildlife consumption.
That's not right.
That's not right. What do you think? What do you think a peacock tastes like? If you had to guess,
like 1,000,000 pounds of chicken is what it's.
Probably right.
It turned out that it wasn't chicken or a peacock. It was made from chicken that they found in Chicago.
Yeah.
A big warehouse full of chicken.
Our zoo is just full of peacocks. They're just every 5 feet. And I've never once in my life gone, boy, I wonder what those taste like. I just don't think about it. I'd rather eat. I don't know why it's weird to me, but to eat a peacock seems very strange. If things were, end times and I had to kill a bird or die, well, okay, I'll eat a peacock, but it's not going to be my first choice.
I think once you pluck it, probably looks like, just about any other bird, like turkey or chicken or whatever, and probably on the more on the pheasant side of flavor wise,
Yeah. I started someone recommended a book. I might start it. It's about all the proteins of the world have gone. Something happened genetically, and they're all poisonous to humans now. So in the book, you can't have chicken, beef, pork, all gone. It's all gone. And all animal life of any kind, and that includes like grubs and stuff, other sources, that also has had this problem. So that's the setup of the thing. So they make cannibalism legal, but highly regulated.
Soylent Green, basically.
Kind of, but it's highly regulated, and people are aware of it. So when you go buy you buy meat at the store in this story, this apocalyptic idea, you're buying human meat. I'm pretty excited to read it. It sounds interesting. I don't love,
Children of Beef.
Children of the Beef. I love that. Well, anyway, she's, or where were we? Oh, this dude, he's in trouble. Promoted illegal wildlife consumption. He's now facing charges under the Wildlife Protection Act. The national bird of India, peacock. Oh, I didn't know that was their national bird. I didn't know that. You know what? That's a much cooler national bird than our stupid California seagull. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's like colorful, like their costumes and their Bollywood and all that stuff.
Oh, that's a good fit. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
All that color, but you pluck them and eat them, you're in trouble there, Punjab.
They look just the same as anything else.
Pranray, or whatever you say his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a big deal over there. It was set up in 1972, and now he is busted because he both participated in what they call hunting and killing a strictly prohibited beast, and they did it. So don't do that. Be nice on YouTube. Let's see. That's going to do it for us. We're going to take a break. When we come back from this break, Wendi will be here. We got a great email for her about friendship and how to navigate
a very
that.
interesting friendship. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a hard one.
Quotes around that. Asterisk next to the word friendship on that one.
Yeah. Friendship with a lowercase f. No, I don't know. Anyway, before we get there, though, we need Brian to play this little song in the middle. So what do you got?
Yeah, we've played the band Hinds, Hinds, quite a few times before here on the show. This is the last single they're releasing before their album comes out. The album is called Viva Hinds. It comes out soon, September 6th, via Lucky Number Records. Big thanks also to Grandstand Media for sending this over to me. This song is called The Bed, The Room, The Rain, and You. It reminds me, boy, speaking of 70s songs, there was an older song, had a similar kind of title. I can't remember what it was, but it had the rain,
Down in Africa? No.
Yeah, no. A little bit older than that. I'll figure it out while we're listening to the song.
All right.
Anyway, this is Hinds from their brand new album Viva Hinds, comes out in a couple of weeks. This is The Bed, The Room, The Rain, and You.
Is it that on the horse? It is the horse.
No, not on No Horse with No Name. No.
Feels good to be out of the rain.
Not The Rain King by Counting Crows, Luke Sightwalker. No, it was something with multiple commas. Like the something, and the rain.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But anyway, here's this one that Brian talked about instead for now, and we'll be back in a moment.
Do you know why Kid Songs is the best kids home video series in the world? Because every tape is all about things kids love to do. Yeah, like riding roller coasters, joining the circus, and flying planes. Flying planes? Kids don't fly planes.
I had some bad Puerto Rican food and I threw up.
And we've returned. Hey, Brian, who was that again?
Yeah, that was a band called Hinds, Hinds. I'm trying to make people not look for ketchup when they're in the streaming music services that they use. Sure. That's from an upcoming album called Viva Hinds. Comes out at the beginning of September 6th. The song is called The Bed, the Room, the Rain, and You. Not to be confused with the song I was thinking of, which is called The Rain, the Park, and Other Things by... Who was that? Cowsills.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say now we have a whole new mystery. We got to find out who sang it.
Yeah. Nope. The Rain, the Park, and Other Things.
I love it.
Here's another Minnesota tradition that's not so easy to throw in the garbage.
Yep, that's the tradition of bringing my sister on here once a week as often as we can to talk about some real therapy and real people's lives. It's my sister Wendi. Hi, Wendi.
Hello.
I don't know why I keep making sure people know you're my sister. I don't know why I do that, but
it's important. Who's this Yahoo coming on telling people to do things?
Yeah, who is this? Hey,
who says Yahoo anymore? What does that even?
Nobody does. No one even uses Yahoo anymore.
I think people should say Yahoo more. I like that.
You think so?
Yahoo.
Yeah, you big Yahoo. That's not bad.
Who's this Yahoo taking another bite of s'mores ramen?
Yeah, no kidding. So are you guys over the honeymoon in your state yet about your cool governor getting VP ticket business?
You guys want to hear it? I'm ready.
Do it. Lay it on us. How does the average Minnesotan feel about this whole deal?
We're a solidly okay. People would argue that's not true. We're pretty purple, right?
Yeah.
There's a decent balance.
Right.
Theoretically, but yeah, we
not just because Prince was born and lived there and all that. You don't
have you seen the memes about Prince has always been right?
Yeah.
And now we're gonna make everyone purple. Anyway, it's great.
Yeah.
No, I think people like him. I think everything's partisan. So if you don't, you probably don't like him for the reasons, whatever. But for the most part, I think the realness of him and just sort of he's a lovable figure. And here's the other thing, that dad energy is like for real, right? And he during the pandemic, so he was elected 2018, and during the pandemic every afternoon at 2:00 or whatever, he got on and gave us updates and told us everything that was going on. It just felt like this reliable dad thing. Yeah. And then but the best thing, and I need to look up her name, but he has a sign language interpreter that was with him every day, and she is the most fun human being to watch.
Is she like a super aggressive?
I love those.
Hilarious and so cute and amazing, and I think he should take her everywhere he goes. She's the best.
I love it.
So stuff like that. Just there's like the wholesome thing is like not a show at all. And he just genuinely really cares about kids and families, and that is so rare to be true, I think, from a politician. It feels like that it plays well. You're supposed to say these things.
It's actually part of the obviously they're using it to their advantage, as you would, because you're trying to win a thing, but there is really something nice about knowing that it can happen in modern politics to bring somebody who is kind of abnormally normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not some extreme on any direction of any kind, just a dude who thinks kids should eat stuff like that. But also he's going to go hunting this weekend. So I'm going to sign this bill.
100%.
Y'all are going to go to school and make sure you're fed. No one's starving. And I'll see you later because I'm going to go hunt some raccoons or whatever the hell I'm doing this weekend. Like I love that.
The videos with his daughter too.
Oh, I know.
Granddaughter? Daughter, right?
Daughter. It's his daughter. Yeah. And he just looks old. He's only 60. But they struggled with infertility for 7 or 8 years. And they've talked about it. Their kid has some special needs stuff going on. Like it's just a real family with real things, and there's just not like his finances just crack me up, you guys. He does not own a single stock.
He has no stocks. No stocks, no bonds.
And there's some fun like local like stories, right? But I'm sure that they've gotten out that are like he's in Congress. He was his students convinced him to run. This was kind of his foray into politics, and he won a local election here, and then he went on to be a representative. And they had some budget issue where no one was going to get a raise that year in the legislature, and he said to multiple people, he's like, I'm making 4 times the money now I've made my whole life. He's just not that guy. And that is so weird. And I know everyone's going to want to find where that's the crack or not true or whatever, but you know, it's just pleasant. And okay, so here's my main stump speech that is, you guys are like, this is not why we listen to the show.
No. Whoever's already rage quit, it's fine. They're already gone.
Okay.
So,
all right. Bye. If you can find a nicer guy who's going to help you change your tire, and then maybe put some tampons in some bathroom for women. I don't know if you heard of the pink tax. You know how expensive it is to be a female in this country.
No, dude.
So
it's crazy.
I think Tampon Tim's a great name. Anyway, so this was the coolest thing. So during 2023 legislative session, I believe it was. Is that right? Yes, because we're in 2024.
Yeah.
They were passing a bunch of things kind of at the end there, and that was maybe I'm conflating a couple different times, but the school lunches, making that law, and some other things that were just for families and whatever. And they extended benefits to families whose kids age out of special ed services in school districts.
Yeah.
And so Allie, my oldest daughter, has special needs and is in one of those programs. And she finished her program at age 21. And we did a graduation. Everything was kind of happening. And then a week later, we get a call from the place and they said, you're not going to believe this. But Governor Walz just signed a bill that was passed by, and all sorts of people made it. It's not like he just approved it. Right. I'm not giving him all the credit.
Pushed it through.
But that gives each of all these kids these services till they're 22. So I got to have my child go back to this incredible program for an extra year. And it was so, I've never had that happen. Have you ever had that happen where something that mattered to you, directly connected to you, happened that fast?
It's rare.
Right?
It's rare, right? I think
got to start that fall.
Maybe mom and dad and that Senator Garn thing to get Matt over here. That may be a similar thing. Yeah. Cause that was like a direct high level government change. It felt, obviously it affected other people. It really started with one family, and that's a rare thing, you know?
That is rare. And this was this moment of so we joke we were going to name our next dog, Tim or Waltz. We haven't decided, but just how much our individual lives were impacted immediately because of something that he and the legislature cared about was just like, oh, what a weird feeling. I feel like it's usually just things get worse or the decision makes you feel less like you are known or cared about, whatever. So we're big fans in our house because we got a direct benefit, which isn't that what every voter ultimately starts to feel is that nobody cares about what matters to them. And or even worse, somebody cares about taking away a right you already have, stuff like that. And
he's younger, by the way, he's younger than Brad Pitt and he's younger than Tom Cruise. So just keep that in mind, everybody.
He also is not going to put filler in his face, but he is also the same age as Kamala. They are the same age.
Yeah. She's ridiculously young looking for her age, and he's kind of old looking for his age. And he's been a grandpa for the last 40 years.
And when you ask him, he'll say, well, they're like, oh, you look older. And there's a quote of him just saying, I taught high school for 20 years, you guys.
Yeah, what do you expect?
What do you think happens?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm excited for you as a Minnesotan because I clearly Minnesotans are pretty stoked about him, and it seems pretty, like you said, pretty purple. The excitement. It's not. It doesn't feel so one-sided. It feels like a lot of people are stoked. Anyway.
And his comment real quick with his daughter, did you guys see the video where they're talking about that she's a vegetarian?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, yeah.
and it's
she's
real.
Turkey. Yeah.
He's like, turkey in Minnesota is different.
Still meat.
She's like, still meat. And he's like, oh, but it's different here. So whatever. It was like me. It's the conversations I have with Carter every other day. And it felt so genuine to me because we talk like that. We tease each other. Yeah. I always, when there's food and there's a big bowl of beef, I go, Carter, you want some, right? You want some of this? And she's like, Dad, I'm going to hit you in the arm. Like, we have that same kind of thing. So to see that on a stage like that, or a national kind of exposure like that, it's really heartening. You know, it feels good. It is.
And please look up videos of him petting cats, because it is the opposite of JD Vance, obviously. But I mean, if a cat likes you, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no.
Or holding pigs. He
loves pigs. Yeah,
and he's a hunter, and he is a gun owner, and he is a teacher, and he is, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of real people. So, our other brother, Scott.
Yeah, the other one.
We share two brothers. One of the brothers. He and I talked about politics a long time ago. We had to stop doing that. But one of the things we were talking about is we would both agree on a requirement to be a legislator. You had to have worked as a teacher, a police officer, a fireman, like a firefighter. You had to work in a hospital cleaning up stuff, something. You had to have a real job at some point.
Like public facing.
Public service.
Yeah. Service oriented thing. Yeah.
It would count if you were in retail. I think that would count.
You know what?
You just had to deal with people.
I completely agree, but let me posit this thought. Yeah. You guys agreed on that. That's good agreement. Do you think he agrees today? I mean, do you think that that's enough in this particular case? Not to get too much into what my brother's politics look like, but
I don't know.
I don't know if that, like right now, do you think he's going, well, there was that deal I made with Wendi some years ago about the, I guess I'm
like
in.
A real person.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Actually, what I really love more than anything, let's just put it this way, is I like that Tim Walz is actually the guy Republicans think they would vote for. Like, he is I could have a beer with him. He's like real. I could hunt with that guy. And
I also spent 20 years in the military.
Politics.
Yeah. No, people put them, people all over the place. I'm not both sizing this, but I'm saying everybody everywhere can twist themselves into all kinds of pretzels in order to fulfill whatever narrative they want to fulfill. And unfortunately, it won't matter. It doesn't matter. They're going after things that they normally act like they praise, and F that noise. I hate it.
Totally.
All right.
State is we're here.
I'm excited. May your purple ever shine. Purple rain.
Ever rain.
That's right.
Ever rain. Perfect. Yes.
There you go. All right, let's get to today's thing. So we haven't helped anybody in a while, and it was, it's feeling like we needed to help somebody. So we got this email. Wendi said, that one's great. I said, good. I pasted it in here. I'm now going to read it. Here's how it went. Hi, Scott, Brian, and Wendi. I'm having an interesting conflict at work that I would appreciate some insight on. I started a new job recently, and there is a coworker who has taken a strong liking to me. Let's call her Kate. I don't think that's her real name.
Nope.
For example, she moved her desk location so that she could sit nearer to me, and she invites me and my spouse over to their house for dinner weekly. She often also says that I am her bestie, even though I don't really know her all that well. She and her husband are very religious, and my partner and I are not. They do not drink alcohol or swear or watch rated R movies. I assume they do. This is very different from... She didn't say that part.
Well, this kind of assumes the writer does.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Says, anyway, this is different from the way we live our lives. This isn't to say we are frequent drinkers, but that is kind of besides the point. These differences wouldn't be a big deal, but it seems they judge us for our lifestyle, and we often lack the common things to talk about because we consume very different media. Honestly, I'm not totally sure why she wants to be friends with me / my spouse. Kate, again, not the real name, lacks a filter and often says things that come off as insulting. Here are some examples. Number one, saying that my accomplishments at work are only because my direct supervisors are nicer than hers. I swear I've heard that exact line at work once. I have totally.
I think her name's Kathy.
You only do well at work, or Karen.
Yeah, Karen, Kathy.
Do well at work because your bosses are nicer than mine.
Janice from accounting. Anyway, saying that people. Here's another one. Saying that people who swear are bad people when she knows I have no problem swearing. And number three, commenting on lunch that I brought as being unhealthy or ate a lot of food, and also indicating that I should be trying to lose weight. I am at a healthy weight and go to the gym most days. There are other examples, but those are the ones that come to mind while I was drafting this email. She says things like this almost every time we talk. Basically, I would like advice on how to gently get her to pump the brakes on being friends with me without creating an unpleasant work environment. My boss thinks I should tell her that her comments are hurtful, but I am unsure how that would go. I think I know how it would go. Anyway, for context, so here's some context. We love it when you do context, by the way, so take note of this, everybody, when you send your stuff in. For context, I am a 25-year-old female. I will only be at this job for another year, and after that, my partner and I are planning to move away. Kate is 27, grew up in a small town, and was homeschooled, although she thinks that people wouldn't be able to guess that she was. That's a kind of a funny line. We're going to have to maybe talk about that.
In quotes, wouldn't be able to
Wouldn't be able to guess.
Right.
I would be happy if Kate would just be a work friend, but that seems to be a boundary she doesn't understand, and I don't want to be mean. Any advice is appreciated. Anonymous. So this is an interesting one, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think everybody can relate to this in some way. Like I'm in my head, I'm going, who have I known like this? And I feel like it's a lot, but I can't pin one down.
It's more like characters we've seen in movies who are like that, like Cable Guy, Jim Carrey glomming on Matthew Broderick, or Baby Reindeer, that sort of thing, where these people are way more invested in your life, almost seeing you as a project as opposed to a person. Like that's what I'm wondering if Kate sees the emailer as, oh, here's somebody that I can fix. Like here's somebody that I can like
you're a project.
Improve.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
My mother-in-law does it better than this. Sorry if she hears this. She won't. She doesn't listen. But she does this a lot, where she'll see somebody who she just assumes is a good project, and that means, oh, I saw her, I don't know, pull up from home from work and her dress was a little short. I'm gonna turn her around, and so she kind of starts going over there, inserting herself, bringing bread over, which is nice, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. So I think everybody listening probably has somebody in their life who's maybe a little bit like this. So where do you want to go with it? How do we want to help Anonymous out today?
Well, I think Brian, your intuition here that there's an agenda that's outside of sort of
just a friendship.
Yeah, just a friendship. Because if we take just fundamentally what that means, it's like you don't start a friendship trying to change a person, right? So guess what? I want to be friends with you, but I need you to not eat that much. And
did you not swear? I think people who swear are horrible, but but I sure do like hanging out with you. Come over for dinner this week.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's very possible that Kate's got good intentions, and this is just how she interacts with the world. I'm going to just assume there's a couple of things. Listen, I know a lot of people successfully homeschool their kids and are lovely and all that, but sometimes I don't think anyone can tell thing is just like, yeah, I'm normal. I did a bunch of different things. But one of the tell signs, the giveaways, is maybe some social behavior that is not appropriate, right? And we can all do that. We can all not know exactly what we're doing. They're 25 and 27. They're still figuring stuff out. That's okay. But these 3 examples are like serious negging, right? Like,
yeah.
This is not a way to make friends and influence people. And so obviously this emailer is just nice and is like, all right, so my first question would be, okay, so we're not going to diagnose Kate. I think Kate's clearly going to do Kate. Kate, we're not going to change Kate. Let's start with giving her that. We're not going to change her. I also noticed one quick thing when you said, how do I get her to pump the brakes on this friendship? You're going to have to pump the brakes on the friendship. Kate's not pumping any brakes on the friendship. Whether she wants you to, influence you religiously, or wants you to stop eating unhealthy, whatever her agenda might ultimately be, who knows? It might just be, this is how she operates in the world. So we're going to give Kate some lovely amounts of grace here that she maybe doesn't realize she's coming across this way. But I'm noting a couple of things that the emailer is writing. So this avoidance of conflict, right? I don't want to, if I set a boundary, there will be consequences. Even Scott, you guessed. So let's actually have you finish that thought, Scott. What's your guess if she set a boundary or pump the brakes?
Oh my gosh. Like what she'd say and do.
Yep.
So
what would Kate do if our emailer set a boundary about this relationship?
Okay. So, I mean, often these things come down to how you set it, right? And what you say. And so with her partner saying, you should just tell her you don't like it, it makes you feel bad, whatever. I think you can say that in one of two ways. You can either get in there and go, you don't know this, but you're harsh on my vibe, and I can't stand it. Please stay 5 feet from me. You could say that, or you could say, I have concerns. I mean, you can just have these different approaches. I think either one of these in this case, it's going to be hard to do it in a way that doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead, Brian.
And I'd be prepared for like a sort of a guilt thing on the other side that Kate would pull, like a, God, I was really just trying to be nice to you. And I guess, I'm just too, maybe you're just not the right friend. But basically it would be some guilt thing. I'm trying to think of a good example of what Kate would probably say, but it would be with the intent of making the emailer feel bad for not accepting her suggestions, advice, and weekly dinners.
Right. Yeah. The weekly dinner part is the one that's throwing me because it means
is it just invitation or are they eating dinner?
I don't know. That's a good question. Like they invite them over to their house for dinner weekly, but I don't know if the emailer goes every week or has gone at all. But if like, oh, you really should come over this week.
Yeah.
And is the emailer planning to move because of this?
Right. That's a fair point. Yeah.
Okay. So interestingly, you both gave, and this is common, I was hoping you would, you both gave why one would want to set a boundary because you're afraid of how the other person responds. Right. Yeah. And that's that's a human thing to be like, okay, I don't want to get in a fight in work. And she even wrote like, I just need to have this last for a year and not get awkward. And she obviously talked to her boss about it too, right? Her supervisor's just like,
sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just let him know it hurts your feelings and you don't, whatever. Okay. So here's what I want to propose is that the assumption is that you either ignore this or you hurt her, right? There is a third way. The third way is to recognize that here is a person who might be able to use a real friend, right? So I know you don't know her very well and you wouldn't consider her your close friend. She has some weird boundaries, right? Mm-hmm. And those boundaries are making it so you don't actually want to be around her.
Yeah.
And you would like less contact. Guess what? She wants more contact. And she's acting, there's an insecurity to how she's behaving because she on some level feels that.
Yeah.
And maybe doesn't know how to maintain friendships, right? So if we can think in this third way, it would be something about, can you care enough for her to give her some feedback and share how you're feeling in the guise or the caveat or like the bigger picture of, I do want to be friends. This is making me want to not be friends. So rather than I will leave you if you don't behave the way I want, which is no one wants to say that, but that's how it feels when you're confronting someone a little bit. Like, and most of us are not raised to handle conflict well. Certain sort of people worse, better than others. And like because it's uncomfortable. And maybe when something was uncomfortable in your home growing up, or you had different experiences, you didn't witness or get practice at having an adult conversation to resolve it. You saw avoidance, or you saw over dramatization, or you saw, someone go in a corner and cry. Like you maybe didn't get like, oh, this is a skill that I can learn and grow and figure out how to have a relationship with her. So I feel for the emailer. This sounds like a terrible position to be in, right? But what I want to emphasize is that you have a ton of power in this. You just don't realize it. In fact, you wouldn't be in this position if you didn't automatically have some power with this person. She wants to be near you. And so like anyone, you might need to have some rules about how that would look. So let's just start with how she talks to you about certain things. She might, you could sit down and just say, can we have a chat? I've had this experience with a couple people. It's not exactly like this for sure, but it's just giving them feedback that's hard to hear. And it's really affecting my desire to trust them or ability to be around them or to trust them. Right. And so I will sit down and have an adult conversation with them, emphasizing that I care about them. And that can be authentic. You care enough, right, to not tell her, confront her. You care what she thinks and feels. So you just channel that, and you have to be brave, and you have to say, hey, can I take you to lunch Tuesday, and can we talk about something? This is hard for me to do. But sometimes you'll say things to me that make me feel really bad and want to be less of your friend. I assume that's not what you're trying to do. What can we do to make this better? Right? You got to be clear, and it doesn't have to be blamey, but it needs to be like, we're going to talk about this thing. So in my experiences of doing this, I have, knock on wood, yet had anyone do the thing I'm afraid they're going to do.
Sure.
Most of the time, they're just so grateful because they had no idea, no idea that was coming across, or no idea that when they said this or that it was really offensive. And most of us, we hear it, we take it in, we sort of nurture the wound of this person said this thing, right? And if we could shorten that incubation and move it more towards action with, here is another person who maybe hasn't been modeled any of these things, and maybe you haven't either, so it's going to be awkward. And you can say that. This is going to be awkward. I want to hang out with you. I want us to be good work friends. You can say the truth. Well, you don't have to say hang out if you don't want to, but I want us to be good friends at work. Can we talk about our relationship? And that might seem like, what? We're having a relationship discussion with this person? But the thing is, she's coming at you a lot. And that in her positive way, I'm assuming she thinks like the unhealthy or a lot of food comments, she is probably just used to people talking about how much food someone eats. And
Sure.
That to me is a social faux pas, or she's really mean. So one of those two things are happening. I like enough of the clues that I'm leaning towards a social faux pas that she just does not realize how that's coming across. Like if you sat down at lunch with her and said, tell me how your parents talked about food, weight, and your body. She might be like, oh yeah, they're constantly telling me I'm eating, like you might find all that's been modeled to her is judgment about food and body. Right. So I'm giving everybody a benefit of doubt here, and you will not know unless you have a conversation. I hear you that it's scary. I hear that most people don't want to do that, but it is part of growing up and growing in skills and growing in maturity. And 25, I hate to tell you, is when this begins.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you, I'm trying to think of an example like this. There is the age-old effort of ghosting. And by that, I just sort of mean, hey, how's it going? Cool. Oh, hold on, I gotta take this call. You just get busy.
Right. It's like, say hi, but I'm on my way to a meeting, but I just want to say hi real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to go out on Thursday night? Oh, shoot, I can't. I've got this thing with my mom, but maybe in the future. You kind of just do these little push-offs, and then eventually they stop asking, and they still feel it. Yeah. But what I'm asking you, Wendi, is that even a reasonable way to do it? Like,
the problem is that she moved her desk right next to the emailer. So it's, you can do that if they're on the other side of the building or a few cubicles away, but they're going to know you're not on your phone full 8 hours of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you do? Is that a bad idea?
I mean, it's an idea. It's.
I mean, because I think some people will be tempted to do that. I have to admit, I would be tempted to go that route because I don't see any other positive outcome because there's not enough emotional intelligence being exchanged. It's
right. And she's moving in a year. So do you really want to spend all this energy and effort? And you could just do subtle sidestepping and ghosting for a year. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
I am a therapist though. So I am going to advise. I'm going to advise testing this out. I mean, I would be 100% tempted to do what you're saying. So it's not like I think I'm great
sure,
at this.
Of course.
I'm not.
That would be one of the plans in your all right, do I ghost her? Do I do this? Do I do this other thing?
Way.
Yeah, right.
So the fourth way is ghosting gently, right? Yeah. The fifth way is you become, you guys are going to have me remember his name. The guy in the Shadows, the emotional vampire.
Oh, yeah. Colin Robinson. Yeah.
Colin Robinson. You could just turn into Colin Robinson and ruin it the other direction. Like there's so many options.
Kind of like the Taming of the Shrew. You just kind of go the other,
Let's do it.
Just hang over her the whole time while she's trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, it's a little reverse psychology. Just be like, what are you guys doing Friday and Saturday night? So you could do that. That's the fifth way. But I like
for breakfast to just make a day of it.
So if you're not an actress, this might be tricky, right? To pull off some of these other options. And so
you run the risk that this is what they really secretly want too.
Oh, I know.
Like, and then you're really committed.
Oh
you got to
gosh.
double down and get method, or you're gonna. Yeah, it's not good. Don't do that one. Really, it's maybe a strategy that's just important to start to figure out how relationships work. Everyone learns the hard way some of this, right? Where, okay, I got too friendly with this person too fast, and turns out they're really mean and hard, and I need to pull back. What do I do? Do I have a conversation, or do I slow ghost, or whatever you want to do? What are you going to feel comfortable? You're going to need to be a little uncomfortable. And then what are you going to be comfortable living with? Because the outcome, you can't fully predict. You also wouldn't predict Kate would be like this the first day you met her. This is just the nature of working closely with people, and you're the same age, and they're excited about you, and they, maybe there's something to, just sort of subtly setting some more boundaries and, move on with your life. Great.
Right.
But if you had to stay and work with her, I think the sit down chat would probably be more important. I don't know. There's just a lack of general maturity often when it comes to human beings, when it comes to these things, right? And when you meet someone who's quite good at this, it could be like, wait, what is just happening?
Yeah.
You're saying out loud, we're talking about the elephant in the room, just calmly and together and figuring something out, right? That would be a great place to work, right? That'd be great if your boss could help you do that. It'd be great if that was modeled to everybody.
Yeah.
So we could be honest and we could share stuff and we could, get over aggravations and whatnot. But most people are definitely opting for staying comfortable, right? And that's really a question here. What is your comfort level, and can you push into your discomfort a little to have a little more authenticity with your interaction?
Yeah.
And then just don't put up with someone insulting you. That's ultimately my biggest problem with this, is that we're just going to let her talk to you that way.
Those sugar-coated insults. There's a couple people I know who do that same kind of thing, and maybe they don't realize it, or maybe they do realize it. It drives me nuts. But you almost want to do, and maybe there's a way to head those off at the pass the next time and just say, "Oh, ouch, that hurt. Why would you say something like that to me?" And kind of put it back on them, but do it in a way that is almost like not angry, but in like a, just making him realize, like just bapping the dog on the nose with a newspaper kind of thing.
Yeah, I would do. So here's what I'd say. If they said something like one of those, like you said, Brian, like hidden,
sugar-coated insults.
Sugar-coated. There you go. That's the word. Yeah. I feel like my reaction that I would want to use now, and I feel like it's different now than it would have been when I was like 25.
Totally.
This is the other problem, is I have zero patience for inauthenticity now. I hate it.
Right.
So this sort of thing I would be immediately turned off by, and I would find a way out, because I would just be like, ugh. But here's a way to do it. They do one of those sugar-coated insults, and you go, even with a smile or kind of a smirk, you're like, well, that wasn't very nice at all. Just like, that's all you have to say.
Right.
And then they're left. Now they have to say something.
Enough to say, hey, I know what you just did, and that's not cool. So knock it off. Smiling.
Sometimes the simple one is the one that will get them thinking, because they're going to be caught off guard and go, oh.
Yeah. And there's enough social rejection in that to get someone to kind of stop. Yeah.
Right. Because all you're doing is you're just stating the fact that wasn't nice, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not a good idea, but I have actually done this because it just came out and I couldn't stop myself. Is I laughed kind of like a really shocked laugh. And then I went, that was amazing. Whoa. Did you hear that? And they were like, what? Like, that was like the most passive aggressive sentence I've ever heard. And I'm just laughing.
Yeah.
And they're like, and I was like, sorry, I was just a good one.
That's good. That's a good way to do it.
It was very effective, and I didn't even mean to. But
you also sounded like Tim Allen there for a hot second.
I did.
You were,
the other thing to do when she says stuff like saying that people who swear are bad, you just drop the F-bomb. and then walk away. Like, you use your real personality. I mean, I think that's what's kind of tricky. Like, maybe you're just real sweet and just want to never hurt a fly, and this is your real personality coming out. But like, what is it that you can sort of like, I don't know. I think is it Jim Gaffigan? I think he says shit every once in a while in his stand up just to keep a couple of people away.
Right. That's
right.
A great way
it's
to look
a little
at it.
like just protect yourself a little bit. And so maybe stop playing the game of her game and be you a little more. Might be helpful.
Yeah. Next time she's like, oh boy, sure it's cold out. Yeah, no shit. And then just go back to what you're doing. And then don't, act like it was nothing. And she'd be like, oh.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's a way around this. The fact that you're not going to be there much longer is a huge boon here because
exactly. Even if you make things awkward, it won't be awkward for very long. You'll be out of there in a year plus. So
it won't be that bad. I guess a year can be a long time if you're stuck right next to somebody.
It can, but yeah. I guess the alternative of the other kind of awkwardness is worse.
I look forward to follow up on this one because this one almost has like a television prestige Netflix show
Netflix
quality to it.
Miniseries coming for this one.
Yeah, and depending on who's writing it, things could get real awkward. So be careful out there. Wendi, is there anything else happening this week or going on that you would like to? Oh, you had dinner with the Victorines with Leslie and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. This is freaky. Leslie immediately upon arrival gained a Minnesota accent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it took no effort. She could just do it. I was blown away. It was really impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great to see them.
Yeah.
And then they reminded me that you have a podcast in the world out there that I don't pay attention to, and showed me the video of Carter doing your makeup, and it was so
Oh wow! So the first time getting to see that. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't
incredible.
didn't really publicize that around the family chat groups, but yeah, that was pretty fun. I couldn't wait to get it off my face. I don't know how you when I say you people, I don't know how women constantly or anyone who does makeup on the daily. I feel for all of you. That seems like a pain. My eyes burned all day. I felt like I was always having to be careful not to rub wrong, so I'd smear something onto the clothes I didn't want to get it on. Like, I was blown away by that. And I don't know why, after all my years on this planet, I didn't ever truly appreciate that process. And that was just a silly goof, let's have fun version of it. Yeah. I just don't get it, man. 45 minutes to an hour and a half in the morning. I don't know how you guys do it.
The water line on your eye was just so funny.
I never even heard the term until she told me what it was. It was like,
honestly, me neither. I was like, what is that thing? Oh, it makes it look watery. What is the point of looking like you're kind of crying?
Yeah,
I think it's like an anime look or something. I don't know.
I think so.
That's very weird. But if you're hearing this and you're like, wait, what? The video's up in full at youtube.com/Scott
And you in lipstick, don't ever do that again.
I'm not doing that again. No, ever, dude. Ever. I'll do chapstick that's the most I'll ever put on my lips again.
It's the only stick that's going on these lips.
That's right.
Scott, you thanks for Thomas Chambers in the chat room reminding us, but Sesame Street, you had a Sesame Street thing.
Oh, thank you. I was going to completely forget it. Thank you, Thomas, and thank you, Brian. So here's the question. We were talking earlier about the days of Sesame Street when it was at its best, and then along came Elmo, and they kind of changed the whole format, and we were comparing it to Guy Fieri on the Food Network, and it's kind of the same thing. Anyway, there was some cartoon short thing that they'd play on the regular, like they often did their, counting videos and all that. There was something they did with a giant clam or an oyster or something that you and I would make fun of all the time. Do you remember what that was? We do the voice back and forth. It was like, do you have any memory of that? Because it was you and me specifically. Like, Thanksgiving would come. We were even adults by then. And we'd sit down and you'd go and you'd do this voice and I'd do it back. And then it was this ha-ha. And it was always about this weird Sesame Street thing. Do you not remember that?
Wendi, we can tell you're Google searching right now.
I know. I'm looking. I'm trying to even just find an image of the clam.
Yeah, it was a giant clam cartoon Sesame Street. Let me just see.
Okay,
no. And it was like or something like that. Does it...
Okay, that's familiar.
Does that sound familiar. Like close to something that would ring a bell? Oh, I cannot.
Icor may have found something. Let's see what he found.
All right, this might be it. Oh, I think this is it. Okay, I'm gonna play the audio. We'll see if this is it. Okay, hold on. The guy's dreaming of a fish.
Boy, fish.
Really wearing too short a shirt for his body.
I agree. He looks like he's eating more than fish. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, he keeps catching plants, throwing them down. Okay, it's night, it's day. Days are passing. His beard is growing. Oh, here it is.
Over here.
A talking clam.
The reason that you're not catching fish anymore is that you pulled out all the plants. Let me explain. Watch. Everybody knows that
sound.
Little fish eat plants, and the big fish eat little fish.
And my
So
hands
if there
don't scan.
aren't any plants around, there won't be any fish to catch.
All right.
Got it?
That means if I put back the plants, the fish will come back.
Right.
Is this the one? He's got to make the sound. Hold on, it might be at the end.
I care about the fish just up until the point that I catch them and cook them and eat them.
That's close, but it's not it, Icor. You came so close to the sun. Damn it. All right, I'm going to find this and I'll send it to you.
Just one more thing, Mr. Clam.
Could you make some ASMR sounds for me, please?
Yeah, no kidding. I remember that one too, though. And I remember being fascinated with the idea that if you took the plants... Right. I remember, though, even as a kid going, well, he's catching all the plants with his fish hook? Like,
right, how's...
doesn't work. That's such a weird thing, man.
Using a grappling hook or a fish hook.
Yeah.
Can we just note the slowness of that? Like the slow tempo? And just the other night, or it was last night, we were talking at dinner what each of us think is funny and what memes will make us laugh or whatever. And Abe calls the things I think funny normie. It's like, that's everyone, that's normie. And then he shows me chaos things. Do you know what this is? Chaos?
No.
You guys, that something's wrong with him. How is this funny? It's just like loud screaming, weird things happening. Please, someone tell me.
This is the stuff. This is the stuff. Yeah, it's stuff that Nick likes. It's like, I think I know what he means. It's like
ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense, and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, like the more nonsensical the meme and
the more funny.
It's like it's like the skibbity toilet crap.
Oh yeah, okay.
There we go. Okay, and so he's trying to show me some things and he tries to move it towards more normie so I can get it, and I'm like, okay, this makes me feel 300 years old. But I was thinking about that. The intensity of what a kid can view now versus that clam situation. Ooh.
Yeah. No, it's insane what they say.
Are we gonna be all right? That is a wild contrast.
Yeah, we got a bunch of alphas who are gonna have to tell us after some study, how things went.
They're like, we are not okay. Thank you.
But you know what's good though? As much as you got Skibbity Toilet yelling at them and weird things on YouTube and everything else, you also have something like Bluey that comes in and says, "Calm down, slow down, everybody." And Bluey brings it back to center. I really like that as a thing that, like my two little grandbabies love Bluey. And as long as that holds, that's cool. He can still like Transformers. He can be in all this other stuff. But, if they've got a good center stuff like that, I'm happy. Here's you remember stuff like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, it's on that era. Someone out there find us this freaking talking clam or whatever noise it makes. It's not the talking one that puts the plants back in like we did. It's something else, and then I'll send it to Wendi.
It is very possible. You and I did this back and forth, and I had no idea why.
Yeah, it's possible too. I did that a lot where I'd say things, and I do it with my kids. I'll say a thing. They don't know where it came from, but they know we do it all the time. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Wendi, fantastic stuff. We'll send that to you when we get it. May the rest of your week be fruitful, or whatever that means. We'll see. See you next time.
Bye.
All right. Oh, I could listen to that all day.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Ladybugs and their picnics. Gotta watch out for those guys, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. They're trouble. They're trouble with a capital T.
I'll tell you what's not trouble. Today you'll be getting a Coverville. Brian, remind people what time.
Phoebe Bridgers turning 30. It's going to be at, she's going to turn 30 later this week, but Coverville will be happening today at 12 p.m. Mountain Time. That is in a little bit more than an hour and 15 minutes at twitch.tv/Coverville. Again, I'll be playing Snap, a new Wiccan deck. Wiccan is the brand new card this week, so I'll be having some fun with that. Wiccan just gives you a lot of extra play if you use up all your energy over the first 3 rounds, the first 3 steps. So there you go.
What's his main power in the comics? Is he like a Is he like?
He's magic. He's got magic powers, kind of like similar to Scarlet Witch.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And he wears a cool head thing, kind of like Gambit. Where you've got like, instead of the thing that covers your face, it's like a headband with side deals.
All right. So that your tanning Chatham just kind of pushes out, kind of pumps out of it a little bit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Tanning Chatham.
Easy there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Coverville, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville.
Good point. I forgot about that. Also, hey, Core tonight, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Come for Core. It's Shapes 2 release day. Everybody, Shapes with a Z 2. I've been railing about this forever. I love the old one. The new one is amazing. I've had like about a month early access to it before it came out. I can tell you now without any hesitation, it is addicting as hell. And if you like any kind of automation games and you're just trying to get that dopamine rush from whatever that brings you, Shapes 2 is going to take your life over. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Out today. Anyway, we'll talk about that and more on Core tonight with John and Bo, so check that out. Also, Couch Party tomorrow, 10 a.m. for patrons. If you're around, come watch the latter half of the second Venom movie with us. We only have about 45 minutes left, I think.
Cool. Perfect.
So come check that out. And then play Retro at 1:30 tomorrow as well with me and Dunaway. And after that, this weekend, we do have a film sack coming out. So check that out. Also, Carter wanted me to pass on her thanks for all the nice comments about her convalescing from her surgery. She's doing great. She just needs a little help up and down, but for the most part, doing awesome. And her dog's having to relearn how not to get all up on her and stuff until she's healed. So that's fun to watch. That's it for us. Go to our website if you need it, frogpants.com/TMS. Links to everything. Big thanks to all our patrons and everybody who supports the show in various ways. We really, really appreciate it. So much so that we'll play a song now that Brian has carefully and thoughtfully prepared for you.
This is very true. Oh my gosh, Glitch, quit sending requests. Like Glitch took my mention of, hey, need some requests for the rest of the month, literally, and is entering one for every day of the week.
Oh my Lord.
For next week. Like, I guess he's probably done then. He just did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the same song. Whew. Okay, he's up there, Glitch. Anyway, Keg Tapper wrote in and said, hey, Scotch and Bourbon, it was my 58th birthday, and I'm hoping you can help me celebrate it by playing a new cover that I recently heard by one of my favorite country bands. Since my birthday falls on Friday, feel free to use this for any open date. Love the show, though. Is it too early to get a fish sandwich?
No. And in fact, well, first he has to suffer through this.
Happy birthday.
And then he can have this.
Hey, is it too early to get a fish sandwich?
And this.
Hey, it's too early to get a fish sandwich?
You got to play them all.
Got to play them both. Yep,
all the big hits. Yep.
All right. It's a cover of the Tom Petty song Free Fallin' by the Cadillac 3. This is great. Don't know if did I pick this up brand new or I might have already had this. Oh yes, this was on the album that came out this year called Petty Country, which is a bunch of country music covers of Tom Petty songs. This is a good one. It also features Breland, I believe, on vocals. Here is Free Fallin' by the Cadillac 3.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
What a load.
Season 1, Hank Hill, a little grumpy.